college housing right now. It is fantastic. I believe this is where we will film for the near future. The lighting is obviously better than my room at home. There's a window right there that is giving natural lighting, which I do not have in my bedroom at home, so should be better. What's up, guys? My name is Moo. I'm a college student who loves reading, and I'm here to share that love with all of you. Quick warning, I have 14 roommates. They might be loud. I don't think that it should be a problem because it's the middle of the day, so there's not a ton of people home. When I came home, there was one person in the dining room, so I think we should be good. But if you hear a little bit of background noise, do not be alarmed. It is just one of my 14 roommates. I am a busy college girly, so I'm not gonna have too much more of an intro. I just want to say, if you liked this video, please like it, comment down below your favorite collection of short stories or your favorite mythical or folktale retelling. I'm sure I've already done that, but I always love to know more. And if this has reached people that haven't seen my other videos, I'd love to hear from them too. But yes, please drop that down in the comments, and if you like this video, please subscribe. It really helps the channel, it helps me get more views, it helps drop my video into the algorithm and onto the recommended of other people, so I would really enjoy it if you did so. But without further ado, we are going to get into the review. The book that we are reviewing today is one of the favorites I have ever written. It is very akin to other books that I've reviewed very highly, but it still is unique in its own way. I absolutely adore it. It is Love in Color by Bolu Babalola. I apologize, like always, if I have not pronounced that right, but however you pronounce your name, absolute genius. Fantastic writer. This is, oh, it was so good. It was some of the best writing that I have seen in a long time. Now, I've wanted to read this book for years. I had it on my TBR list for a while, but I only bought it like a year ago, and I put it to the top of my to-read list because I just knew that it was going to be fantastic, and I was right. It was fantastic. I read it when I was not having a good time. Oh my goodness, fall quarter this year. Through the ringer, I was not doing well, but we're doing a lot better now, and this book definitely helped my journey back to sanity. Because in college there is not a lot of time or energy for sanity. But enough about my feelings. Let us read the summary. A high-born Nigerian goddess who has been beaten down and unappreciated by her gregarious lover longs to be truly seen. A young businesswoman attempts a great leap in her company and an even greater one in her love life. A powerful Ghanaian spokeswoman is forced to decide whether she should uphold her family's politics or be true to her heart. In her debut collection, internationally acclaimed writer Bolu Babalola retells the most beautiful love stories from history and mythology with incredible new details and vivacity. Although Babalola focuses mainly on the magical folktales of West Africa, she also reimagines Greek myths, ancient legends from the Middle East, and stories from long-erased places. With an eye towards decolonizing tropes inherent in our favorite tales of love, Babalola has created captivating stories that traverse perspectives, continents, and genres. Love in Color is a celebration of romance in all its many splendid forms. Mwah! It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, the summary alone should have you intrigued, and I mean that completely. Like, I mean, honestly, the cover should have had you gagging at first glance, you know? Like, it is gorgeous. Look at this. It's just, the colors are bright and beautiful, and I don't know, it just says so much in so little. And I say never judge a book by its cover, but definitely judge this one because it shows you an introduction of greatness, and there is so much greatness in this book. So as they said, a lot of these short stories were retellings from West African folklore, which is an area that I don't know very well. I love hearing about mythology from around the world, and I definitely am going to be looking into books about West African folklore and African folklore in general because I do feel like that's a blind spot for me. However, this is definitely a good introduction to how good those stories may be. Now, there are 13 short stories and they are all fantastic. You could open the book to any one of these short stories and be absolutely blown away. They're all named after a character. There are some that you may recognize, like Nefertiti and Psyche, but there is also plenty that maybe if you grew up in a Western environment, you may not be familiar with, and I think that's super cool. Now, I definitely did have some favorites. Like I mentioned, Nefertiti and Psyche are probably my favorites, and it's probably partially because of the familiarity. However, I also just think that their stories were really interesting and just a really good retelling of a story. Like, no matter how many times you have heard the stories of them, this is a fresh new perspective and you can see the elements of the story that Babalola took from. However, it is a completely new story and it's absolutely fantastic. Xenu is also another one that is probably my favorite, so those are probably my top 3: Nefertiti, Psyche, and Xenu. So I will probably give a short summary of each of those and then kind of wrap up with my thoughts, because I think that you should go into these books and you should read them all, and I don't want to give spoilers for any of them because I just think that they're that good and that reading them with a fresh perspective and a fresh set of eyes is just the best way to go about it. So I'll start with Nefertiti. I just very much loved this one because it was incredibly empowering. It was definitely something that I hope stays fictionalized because I really hate that violence can be used for a greater cause, and I want to see a world where violence is not useful and does not help move causes, because we live in a world where communication with everyone is so accessible, and I just think that instead of combating people with violence, people should be more empathetic. And is that wistful thinking? Absolutely. Absolutely. However, it is my dream to someday see a world where violence is not used as a tool, because it just shows a lack of empathy and maturity regardless of what side you're on. And I think while a lot of violence can be explained, it still makes me sad that it happens. However, in this fictionalized version, I think it's really interesting and it's used as a good plot device. So Nefertiti, she kind of runs a speakeasy, I guess, a club, like an all-female club, and it's for women who have been saved from their abusive husbands that are under their control because they live under a completely patriarchal society and are basically property to their husbands. It's very much the old thinking of what marriage is, and that women are not citizens, they are property. So Nefertiti goes and saves the woman from that, and now she's like run this club and she's on the outskirts, and people just, a lot of the higher ups, a lot of men in the community really dislike her. So she's been criminalized, she's been propagated as evil to mainstream audiences, and there are people trying to take her life. So the story of that is the person that is supposed to take her life seduces her. They seduce each other. It's this very smart thing where I think they very much believe that they're smarter than the other, and it's this whole like nice banter thing, and I really love banter. I love a good banter, and I think that that one is definitely one of my favorites for that reason. The other one I really love is Psyche, because love of friends to lovers, and that is exactly what this one is. So Eros and Psyche are two co-workers in a company. Psyche is a girl boss. We love that, but actually, like, you go girl boss. But it is basically this fantastic friends to lovers, and just in my mind, everything is just so bright and pink and glowy and blah, 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 like definitely like girly pop. I love a girly pop moment. but it's friends to lovers, and basically Sight gets rejected at first, and I really thought that was interesting. I thought that her emotions through that was really interesting. I definitely was very intrigued on that. And then you see why, and you're like, oh, that makes sense. So it's like a lot of misunderstanding, but it's not like the useless misunderstanding to just like cause drama for a plot, which I hate. It was actual like contextualized misunderstanding. So I really liked that. I don't really want to get into it too much because I don't want to spoil it, and it's very much straightforward in that way. It's kind of that's kind of the whole narrative. It's like friends to lovers with a little misunderstanding in the middle. But it was definitely one of my favorites. It was simple but true. And it followed some tropes, but it was still fresh and new and really interesting. And I thought that one was really good. And then the last one, Xenu, it was based off of Chinese mythology, and it is this incredibly famous, I believe, pop star. Either way, she's a celebrity, and she gets stranded in this little town, and her mother is like Tiger Mom, but for a celebrity. She's like, we need to do this and this and this and this. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you're super famous and do X, Y, and Z, and you have to go to all these events and like do this. And she's just like, this isn't really the life I wanted to live. And so their car breaks down and they get stranded at this inn, and the mother's like, this is like not for someone of our class, and like this is terrible, where's all the amenities, like and Xenu is just like, I don't know, like this is like not the worst thing in the world, like this is like a short change of pace, I like this. So that happens, and basically the innkeeper is a man, and she's like, oh, he's kind of cute, kind of like that. And basically she can't sleep, they run into each other in the middle of the night, and good things happen. So I'll leave it at that, but that one was definitely one of my favorites. I just love short, soft, wholesome stories like that, and again, very creative, definitely something that I haven't really seen. It was tropey, but still fresh and new, and I think that's what you can say about a lot of these stories. A lot of these stories I had never even seen before, like they were that fresh and new. However, I think that the people that are able to utilize tropes and turn it into something brand new that people haven't seen before, like, ooh, those stories are so good, because obviously tropes are tropes for a reason. Like, they're tropes because people love them, so they've employed them multiple times over the course of a long time. But, you know, if it's too tropey, it's like, okay, I've seen this before, this is a little bit boring. Like, I'm not a big like Hallmark movie girly, because like I appreciate the story, like the stories themselves are cute, but they're just very predictable and they do not hold my attention well. These stories held my attention, edge of my seat, flitting through it. I probably read this in a couple days, I would say 2 to 3 days, and just it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. So I definitely recommend this to everyone. I've been doing that a lot these days, but it's true. I recommend it to everyone. I would say that people who enjoy mythology, who enjoy folklore, who enjoy romance, and just want a nice little wholesome time, have at it. It's so good. And it's not explicit either, which I really enjoy, because I do not like explicit content very much, and that's a me thing. Like, do what you want with your life, of course, but I just don't prefer it. So the fact that it was for adults, like this is definitely a book for adults, but it wasn't explicit, I just really enjoyed. So with that, I'm going to leave it here. I wanted to squeeze in filming a quick video before my advisor meeting. So I just had a class, I ran upstairs, started filming. I'm gonna stop filming and run and get things ready for my advisor meeting so that I can actually apply to my major. Crazy. So yeah. Again, if you liked this video, please like this video, comment down below, and subscribe if you liked this video and want to see more from me. I upload every Thursday, and I'm going to keep doing that. So also make sure to follow my socials down below. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Goodreads, I'm also on Storygraph. I absolutely love Storygraph. It is one of my favorite apps now. So yeah, that is all that I have. So yeah, I'll see you later. Without further ado, this has been Mel. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!